They say when you leave the military, you finally get to rest, but nobody warns you that some battles still come for you. Not with guns or tanks, but with clipboards, bylaws, and neighbors who think authority is a personality trait. My name's Travis Holt. I spent 12 years in the Army, 2 tours overseas, 1 bullet scar on my shoulder, and a dream to build a quiet life on a 10-acre patch of land in the middle of nowhere, just outside a dusty little Texas town called Pine Brush. Bought myself a ranch, fixed up the old barn, adopted 2 good dogs, and figured I was finally free. But I was wrong, because 3 months after moving in, I met the president of the local HOA. Her name was Dolores Wakefield. 63, white pixie-cut hair, always in tennis shoes and a pressed pastel blazer like she was running for mayor of a town that didn't want her. She had this way of smiling without ever showing teeth, and a voice that was sweet until it sliced. First time I met her, she wasn't even on my property. She was waiting outside the tractor supply store when I came out with a bag of feed, leaning against my truck like she owned it. "Mr. Holt, I presume? We take pride in Pine Brush Hills, and I hope you understand we have standards." I thought she was being neighborly. I was wrong again. See, my ranch wasn't technically part of the HOA. I made sure of that when I bought it. But Dolores had plans. Big plans. And me, my dogs, my land, we were in the way. The first note came tucked into my mailbox and signed, "Barking is a nuisance. Silence your pets between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Regulation 4.6b. My dogs, Boone and Scout, were protective but not aggressive. Boone's an Australian shepherd with a bark bigger than his bite. Scout's a retired police canine who'd rather cuddle than chase. I figured it was a mistake, ignored it. Then came the threats. Then the fines. Then the morning Dolores showed up at my gate with a clipboard and a laminated badge that said Community Safety Liaison. I looked at her through my security camera and said, "Ma'am, this is private property." She said, "Not when your dogs are a danger to the community." I laughed. She didn't. Said her niece jogged past my fence and felt emotionally attacked by Boone's barking. Still, I stood my ground. Put up no trespassing signs. Got a bigger lock for the front gate. I even ran a check with the county to make sure again that I wasn't under HOA jurisdiction. I wasn't. End of story, right? Wrong. One afternoon, I came home from the feed store and noticed the kennel gate was ajar. My 15-year-old neighbor, Eli Quiet Kid, helps out with chores, was pale as a ghost on the porch. Said she was here. That lady. She climbed the gate. Said she was inspecting your dogs. I froze. Ran to check the cameras. And there she was, clear as day. Dolores Wakefield, in her pastel suit, climbing my locked gate, poking Boone with a yardstick like she was trying to make him snap. I called the sheriff. Told them I had video. They told me to stay calm and not confront her. Said they'd send a deputy. When he arrived, Dolores was still there, standing by the stable with Scout on a leash, barking like mad. She looked up at the deputy and said, "I was just doing my duty. These animals are violent. I was going to have them put down myself if nobody else would." Put them down? I nearly blacked out from the rage. The deputy didn't hesitate. Read her rights on the spot. Arrested her for trespassing and unlawful entry. As they put her in the cruiser, she turned and said, "This isn't over." And she meant it. A few days later, I got a note under my door. No logo this time. Just 6 words in all caps. "We are watching. CHOPA is everywhere." I didn't know what CHOPA was, some kind of HOA network? A code? Then came the white SUV with no plates, circling the property slow like a shark. Then the fire behind the barn, lit with gasoline, almost killed my horse. Then the drone, a black quadcopter labeled HOA Patrol, hovering outside my window. I knew I wasn't just dealing with Dolores. There was more. Something bigger. I stopped sleeping. Carried a shotgun to the mailbox. Then one night, Boone and Scout went missing. Vanished from a locked kennel. No noise. No sign of struggle. Just gone. Until I got a photo. My dogs, chained to a post, terrified. Caption, "Leave the ranch or they die." That night, I called someone I hadn't spoken to in years. My cousin Wyatt. Ex-Special Forces, ran surveillance ops overseas. Came the next morning in a beat-up truck and a look in his eyes that said he wasn't here to talk. "Where's the war?" he said. I showed him the drone footage, the notes, the fire. He just nodded. "We're not reporting this. We're ending it." Wyatt installed trail cams, heat sensors, dummy kennels, and bait cameras. Then he cracked the drone's memory card. What we found made my skin crawl. Footage not just of my ranch, but of Eli's trailer, Linda's garden, even the local animal shelter. Someone was watching everyone who stood by me. Then, one night at 2 a.m., we got the ping. Camera showed Dolores with a man we didn't recognize, bald, stocky, wearing a jacket with a worn-out animal control patch. Wyatt recognized him. That's Wayne Lester. Got fired for stealing rescue dogs and selling them off the books. They were back, trying to break into the barn. Wyatt and I flanked them, caught them red-handed. Lester had tranquilizers, wire cutters, rope. Dolores screamed. They barked at my niece. That's emotional assault, I said. She was never even here. The sheriff arrived just as Wyatt snapped zip ties out of Lester's duffel. Another arrest. Another round of threats. The next morning, Eli found a USB stick buried near the fence. Inside, footage of HOA meetings, board members planning to seize my ranch through legal loopholes, using dog violations to declare a community safety easement. They weren't just harassing me. They were trying to steal my land. We took the evidence to the sheriff, then to the press, then to the internet. My Facebook post went viral. My animals were taken. My barn was burned. Here's who did it. Within 24 hours, 60,000 shares. News stations showed up. Lawyers called. Then the explosion happened. My tool shed gone. Leveled. Molotov cocktail confirmed. No one was hurt, but that was it. The sheriff called a press conference, held up our USB stick, and declared a full criminal investigation into the Pine Brush Hills HOA. Dolores was charged with conspiracy, trespassing, animal cruelty, arson, and more. Lester, too. 3 other board members resigned. Then came the courtroom. Dolores sat there, shackled, smirking, until they played her jail call. Burn it all down if you have to. Jury came back guilty on all counts. 25 years. No parole. After that, we rebuilt. Stronger fences. Fireproof barn. Wyatt installed motion lights and weatherproof cams. Eli started teaching horseback riding. The town woke up. People drove out just to see the place. We renamed it Liberty Ridge. Not just for the animals. Not just for the land. But for the fight. For every homeowner who's ever been bullied, fined, or harassed by someone hiding behind a rulebook. And if you're wondering if they ever came back? No. But I did get one final letter. Handwritten, in careful script. From Dolores' niece. Dear Mr. Holt, I'm sorry for what my aunt did. I was never attacked by your dogs. I never even went near your ranch. She used my name. I didn't agree with it, but I didn't know how to stop her. I hope one day people stop using fear to feel powerful. Thank you for protecting what matters. Kelsey. That letter's framed in my kitchen, right next to a photo of Boone, Scout, and Eli planting our new mailbox, the kind no HOA could ever touch. So now I'll ask you this: if someone like Dolores came for your land, your animals, your peace, what would you do? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because fences might keep the dogs in, but they sure as hell won't keep us out.